Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Total War Harondor campaign. And we're starting off the following turn from the previous episode here with a new development in the Ithil region. It looks like the Reunited Kingdom has taken minus Ithil. They had it under siege in the last turn, and so they just went for it and grabbed it. And they may hold it, we'll see. They have a few men here. I remember this army. Yeah, you can tell by the color in the banner here that the army is very, very small. So it could be that there's another big Adunabar army that's going to come from the east and just take this right back. The other thing I noticed during the turn was that this Adunabar emissary did a little animation outside the city. And you'll see this happen in Vanilla Rome Total War and in any mod associated with it, where the diplomats of the AI factions will sometimes appear next to your cities, and they'll sort of hold out their hand, or if they're holding a scroll or something like that, as though that they're going to initiate diplomacy, but then nothing happens. And there is a bit of a debate about what exactly that conveys. It could be that the AI is attempting to bribe you, but is failing because they don't have enough money to do it. Or who knows? Maybe they're canceling a diplomatic order that they were going to give. Really not sure, but it is a bit daunting, I guess. It shows that the AI is interested in me, and I don't like that. So I think after we finish the farm here that I just queued up, we're going to go with this. Mustering fields. Currently, all we can train down here is skirmishers and footmen. And if we get a mustering fields, this is the 2nd level barracks, we're going to be able to train swords of Harad and, some of our cav. So both of these units are going to be really handy, but the Swords of Harad are going to be a really, really good garrison unit. And it'll be nice just to have another place to get those from in case of emergency. So we'll just keep an eye on developments. Adunabar may not really be able to do that much anyway, because if they're losing up here, right, they're not gonna have that many options. A lot of emissaries around here. There we go. We got our eyes on Em and Arnon now. We'll just keep going back and forth around there. And in the south, we can take a look. Okay, so that big elephant army has withdrawn back east. There was a small stack of Far Harad right next to it, but that is gone now. So it could be that they were just going out to fight Far Harad, and they're not really interested in going back to take Carenbad. That's great. I'll take it. We've got to keep an eye too on what Far Harad is doing, because you just never can trust the AI. And we've got our, yes, this is a garrison army here. We probably do want them over here. Maybe, though, I only want to bring in the infantry. Because having these guys sit around and garrison, these expensive horsemen of the Harnan, might not be good. Actually, the horsemen of the Harnan are cheap. Or the swords of Harad are expensive, I guess. I never noticed this before. But yeah, the mounted skirmishers, 160 upkeep per turn, always struck me as very reasonable. And I always thought of the horsemen of the Harnan as being very expensive in upkeep, so I wouldn't have too many of them. But now looking at the swords of Harad, they're more expensive than the horses. I mean, granted, there's more men in the unit, but that's very interesting. In terms of upkeep, at any rate. And recruitment. This is an expensive unit. Okay, I think this may have been a balancing thing, because the AI, Harad, will love to train these guys. And I think there may have been, in the testing phase, there may have been some discussion about, all right, we need to control this unit a little bit, because facing a full stack of Swords of Harad is really, really a nightmare. Okay, so maybe that's the issue. They're just made more expensive to encourage the AI to train them a little bit less, and encourage the player to train them a little bit less too. Okay. Well, so what do I want to do with this army now? Like, part of me thinks it's the responsible thing to do is to keep them in Carenbad, in case in case Harad decides to go for us again. On the other hand, I feel like maybe I shouldn't be responsible at this point. Maybe I need to keep going west, because that's how we keep up the momentum. That's how ultimately we beat Harad. This army here is not going to hold out against a full stack. I don't think, anyway. So we'll bring the infantry over. And we'll bring these guys over into the west to do some, who knows, to do some impromptu raids on small enemy stacks. This is not like a full cav army or anything, so we do have to be a little bit careful about it. Yeah, let's move them over towards Akasanaban, and we'll just keep them out of reach for now of what I can see of the AI armies. As long as his movement points are accurate, I can go over here. This is my territory now. And we're training some more mounted skirmishers in these two settlements. I think what I'll do is I'll bring my, this family member. I think he was coming over to join the Cav army. We'll bring him up here to escort these reinforcements. Because it's just him, he's got lots of movement, and he'll be able to protect them from bribery attempts. Okay. This army, I guess we could move it down here to hit this. This is like my big infantry army. Another move would be to put it into Akasanaban and use my cav to deal with these things. Because my cav could deal with a whole lot. That's kind of what I'm tempted to do. Let's step them outside. Man, public order is good there. Okay, and you're a competent governor, competent commander. Let's just see what the... Well, no, I can't... I don't think I can afford to see what the mercenaries look like across the border there, because we don't have many movement points. All right, this guy's got pretty limited mobility, although that's partly because of this force here. Okay, here's what we'll do. We will bring these guys into the city for now. They'll garrison it and just make sure that it's not going to get easily bribed. He still can't reach Faran. And my cav, let's bring a... I want to leave a scout right there because that's really useful to see. I'll bring another scout down here. It looks like there's very little in Habad and Karasnan. There are a very few scattered forests, and so there could be some armies hidden in ambush around here. I'm not too concerned about that. So let's see the composition. Oh yeah, this is no trouble at all. Okay, I think we're in really good shape. This is the bigger threat. So I think what we'll do is it's probably going to come back. I'll bring my cav army. Yeah, we want to go straight for Umbar. So I'm going to just make myself a big target. All of these guys should hit me, because now I'm on their territory. They may head towards Akasanaban, but I think they're going to go for this very tempting target. Do I want to go for mercenaries? Just for a bit of flexibility for the moment? Might be a good idea. You know, just a bit of an extra option. Sacrificial bait. It's going to cost me 600. Let's go for it. I got to remember they're there, so they're slowing me down, you know, the following turn. But let's join up this cav right now, since we can. And I'll wait for you. In fact, let's bring you up so that you can easily join those guys. Okay, we are losing money now. And we need to keep an eye on everything. All right. And we are on low taxes here. Okay, we also don't want to leave this guy in here for very long. All right, we're training pretty much everywhere that I want to train. So we'll just end the turn. Yep, there's our big attack. Okay, bunch of footmen. We've got some archers, skirmishers, 1 unit of swords here, and that's coming from, I think, up here, Lieutenant Morrow. Yep. So northwest, and then from the southwest, we've got these guys. They do have cav and 2 swords. But this shows it as pretty balanced, so it should be a good fight. I do love these panoramic views at the beginning of the battles. Very, very nice landscape here. And we're defending. Looks like we've got a very open bit of terrain to defend, which is good. Good for our Cav army. So it doesn't really matter where we set up. We've got, again, the two forces. We're facing northwest for that initial army, which is going to be up here. And the reinforcing army is going to appear, geez, probably not too far from us. So one option is just to be ready to meet that threat as soon as it appears. Let's get all of our skirmishers over there, I think. Well, the reinforcing army has more dangerous stuff. It's got more cav. It's got some cav, at least, and it's got more swords. All right, let's just get these guys kind of all on the same side. So all my melee cav is up here. All my skirmish cav is down here. And, yeah, I think we want to hit the second army with, like, our lancers and our bodyguard. And I think I'm going to be a little aggressive with my family members because we're starting to get a lot of them. And with the main army, let's actually use all my skirmishers over here, and we'll kind of make sure these guys don't meet each other. Okay, they're far away, but let's move over towards them. If we hit these swords pretty hard, that should be good. I'm getting some of the comments on the videos I've been getting are very, very helpful, and then reminding me of some of my own biases, I guess. I think it was Flavius who had mentioned that Cav charges against Swords of Harad are really effective, and that is true. And the reason I don't do it very much, I'm realizing, is because I'm maybe a little overly protective of my melee cav and ready to throw away my missile units. My missile units, skirmish units, I just view as not fodder, but I view part of their role to be disruptive, and I view it as basically inevitable that they're going to be taking losses. So, you know, I kind of expect that. I don't really mind when they get in the mix, and I even will use them in melee. My missile cav, on the other hand, all right, let's knock this off. Yeah, see, we're taking losses here, and I don't really care. My melee cav, on the other hand, are my precious, precious babies, right? I don't want anything to hurt them, and so I want to make sure that, okay, here we go. I don't even think we're going to take much damage here. This is just Hairdwaith Riders. But I want to make sure that they're, you know, they're going to be looked after, they're protected. All right, so now is the time to hit the swords, which are right here, and reloading. So we're going to see how well this works. This is not something that I often do, is just charge in with swords, but there they go. Now, how many losses did we take from those javelins, right? I mean, that's the question. Like, is it worth it? What do we have going on over here? The footman general. Okay, I think we finally killed him. Oh, this is gross. This is not good. Come on, come on, come on. Break. We've got reinforcements on the way, so that's kind of why I'm being so irresponsible with this. All right, did we kill all of them? There's a unit right here. That's a unit of swords just throwing javelins at us because I split my army up thinking that I would you know, somehow be able to manage it all. Okay, let's go now. We've got the enemy general routing. And yeah, we've lost some skirmishers. Swords of Harad winning easily. I'm not a fan of that. Let's bring over the lighter melee cap. I mean, this is not a great example of a battle, right? Where I'm clearly suffering from divided attention, and so I'm taking a lot of losses on both halves that I wouldn't have otherwise. But okay, we got these armies taken care of. We're gonna win, which means we're gonna get some of these units back. Some of these 10 men? Yeah. So, I'm not going to knock using my melee cav to charge swords, because as we saw in that first impact, it did really work. It's just a question of if I can find a battle where... Alright, yeah. I guess, we're not paying attention here. If I can find a battle where I can pay attention... Alright, I should let them go. That's unfortunate. The swords are going to get away. But if I can find a battle where I can pay a little more attention here instead of dividing my forces unnecessarily, then I think that would be a good test, right? What's the better approach? To kind of hang back, try to beat the army elsewhere, or to throw your melee guys into the swords and break them quick, because they do have low morale. All right, that was a heroic victory, but this has felt very, very sloppy. So not good. And I figured we would get hit again. The AI, look at them desperately moving their men over. Now this is interesting. This army over here is not going west. This is the big army. Okay, so we're going to have to bring the army out of Akas Anaban and deal with them. They're going to get to Ur, actually, before we can do anything about it. Which is fine. This army's staying right here. We'll see where they appear at the end of this turn. They may move east depending on how things, or west, depending on how things go. But let's take a look at what we're up against here. We're roughly even in terms of numbers. 2 swords and some cav. Okay, some beefier stuff. Some corsairs and footmen. Okay. Another should be fine. What I'm going to do this time is not split up my army. We're going to focus on one of these armies at a time and try to take them out. And I'm going to use my bodyguards. Those guys replenish, of course, and they work great. I didn't use my mercenaries at all. Those infantry. Let's get up here. We're going to get all of our guys pretty close together. Okay, how do we want to do this? Okay, and yes, you guys go down here. All right, we've got the infantry. We'll just keep them up on the hill. I'm waiting for a situation in which it seems to make sense to use them, because I've got clearly my hands full trying to use all this other cav. And these horsemen of the Harondor, I'm going to start being a little careful of them, because I could send them back and get them retrained very quickly. All right. Oh, okay. That's actually the closest army over there. All right. Well, they're going to hit me, so I'll just move my my skirmishers forward. The other army is way off in the distance. I can't even see them here. All right, let's speed up. And we'll get some free javelins down into these swords. I mean, this is the thing you like to do, because Swords of Harad, of course, are an extremely annoying unit to deal with. In melee, they're going to throw javelins. You know that. And so that's a big part of the reason I'm reluctant to send in my precious horse boys, because they're going to get hurt. But I guess the thinking is, if you kill them fast enough of them, they're going to rout before they can get hurt. So that seems reasonable. Yeah, see, they're already shaken. Or they were shaken. I think they just moved out from the shadow of the flank. But yeah, they're taking a lot of losses to my javelins here. This is great. Of course, we're just about out of javelins. But the Herodwaith Riders unit is basically gone. It's to the point where we could take them with our skirmish cav. That might be a good use of our time, actually. Right, javelin's almost gone here. And now I think we'll move them up. Actually, no, let's hit him. He's not even going to turn. Swords aren't even going to turn. It's crazy. Okay, we've used all of our javelins. I think this was good, though. Right, let's leave him. He doesn't matter. Now we have to use these guys as melee, which is fine. And we need to use our melee guys here, which also is fine. Because these targets, the swords are going to be very susceptible to routes. Corsairs of Umbar is a great target to charge. But I think we want to move quicker before the other army gets here. Okay, so let's send... let's see, the 17 men. They're not going to be a big problem. Let's send both of my bodyguards at this swords unit. We'll get them to rout as quickly as we can. And let's actually quickly move these guys down here. Let's see. Are they going to get a javelin in? No, they're not. So that's great. If you've got a good situation, a lot better for you to just charge those swords of Harad. Now this was a perfect situation, and you don't always get this, right? Where they're marching towards you slowly. You're downhill, and it looks like the other guys might leave. No, they're coming on. Okay. Let's form up over here then. Because I do like this slope. I think this is just the footmen army, and over here there are... Jeez, I can't remember what that is. I think that we've got one more sword unit to deal with, and it's possibly archers that are coming. I think we're done with the cav. I think for this, we'll use the Harondor riders, and we'll just kind of threaten with all of our skirmishers and hit them in the flanks. We'll give our lancers a break. All right, let's march down there. Might be able to take him out on this initial charge. Nope, we're going to take some losses, but there he goes. Alright, this is going to be a little messy, but let's bring our bodyguard down. Probably going to rout, though. I mean, this is just footmen. Preserve our skirmishers a little bit. Okay, there they go. Alright, you've got these very, very distant units that don't seem like they want to join us. And I can't tell if they're actually withdrawing. Let's go over to them, actually. I'm of a mood where if we can get rid of another unit of swords now, and I think we can, then that's what I want to do. I think this is maybe a skirmish unit. Okay, they're going off the field. Great, heroic victory. We actually did very well there. So made up for the poor performance in the last battle a little bit. But this was, of course, you know, I didn't split up my army, and it was much easier to deal with these small forces. So, does Harad have a third army they want to throw at us? I don't think so. Okay. Athendad looks look pretty well fortified. They've got a half stack inside there, and so that's a little more than I think I could deal with my cavalry army at the moment. Here, what I think I want to do is move this army out again. And we'll head back to take on Hama of Karas Agar. And we'll move this guy into the settlement. And again, he's not going to stay there forever. Alright, we've got a bunch more skirmishers here. 2 more. And 1 more there. So we've got lots of these more skirmishers on the way. One thing I do want to bring, though, is a couple of Harondor skirmishers, the footmen, just to come down here to garrison. Because, you know, all of the units that I've got with me, I want to use in the field. Alright, it's looking very, very under-defended around here. Very good to see. They're not going to make it to next turn. So we should be able to catch them. Let's just get a march order towards that army. And they didn't move at all. So very good news. Now, one thing that we do have to watch for is because Harad does own Parcharab, this settlement here, the territory goes all the way into the west, right north of So we could be surprised by an army coming from the north here, because the AI will do that. So in the interest of guarding against that, we'll occasionally move our spy in this direction. Alright, great. Akis Anaban has provincial pacification. Harngand has the tribal grants. Our economy, minus 2417. Well, we keep training stuff. But here's the problem with keeping training stuff. We can't build our fiefdom dominion now. Yeah, so we're running into that issue. We need 5,800 to build this. Actually, is he increasing costs? A little bit, but that's not. We still need a little more than what he's offsetting. Okay. Well, we are getting a little more economy going here. And here, we've at least got these two going. Only 2 more seasons for our fiefdom dominions in and Karenbad. That is going to make a difference in terms of our income. Alright, what is inside Athendad? This is a more substantial army. And it feels like it'd be pretty close if we tried to deal with it. Get these reinforcements, and we will have these reinforcements. Ooh, we should probably take care of this. Umbar Guard, Corsairs of Umbar. Yeah. Okay. Now there's 2 versions of this basic unit type. There's Umbar Guard, and then there is, I believe it's called the Palace Guard. And one of them is entirely unique in the sense that there's only one of them in the game, and you cannot train a fresh unit of it, but you can retrain losses from that particular unit. The idea behind that unit is that it is the one, I think you start with it in Umbar, and it's like these are the guys who literally guard the palace or the person of the emperor in Umbar itself. And the Umbar Guard are, like an elite unit, but they're not one of a kind, basically. They still do the same kind of stuff. They've still got a battle standard. So this is a good unit, and the fact that Umbar, is training them, is a little worrisome. So I think I want to take care of this. They may withdraw, and if they withdraw next to the city, I'm a little concerned because I think that that might be a problem for me. They're going to stay and fight. Okay. So we're attacking here. Yeah, we've got swords of a couple of different types, and we've got the Umbar Guard to face. All right, let's kill all of these guys if we can. We're kind of running low on full units of skirmishers and lancers, of course, so we do need to watch that. All right. And this is just the one army, so we're attacking. They're probably going to be like up on this hill. I'd have to assume. Get the skirmishers out in front to take some of those initial javelin lobs, theoretically, but ideally work around the flanks. And here's our bodyguard. This is maybe where we want to use our mercenaries. Again, they really slow me down having a single unit of infantry. I just never think of them. Okay, they went on that hill. All right, fair enough. But they would be useful to just bait javelin throws. I think that's what I'm going to do. They are a sacrificial unit. Using them up is going to save us a bit of cash. Theoretically, it's nice to have one infantry unit so that you can get into a city, right? Someone needs to swing a ram or something if I wanted to take a tiny wooden walled settlement. But realistically, I don't think that's going to come into play with this army, and I'd rather have the mobility. So let's try to use these infantry mercs up in this battle. Right, swords are the general unit. Okay, so with that, we're going to want to move, I guess, the skirmishers around here. Everybody else up like that. You're going to take some damage, mercenary Southron spears. No way around that. I would like them to take javelins. That's kind of my preference. Alright, let's slow stuff down a little bit. And get our lines of lancers ready to go. You know, we can tie up one of these infantry units, or a couple. Alright, looks like they're going for it. Alright, fine. There's the Corsairs going in. And we need to... Yeah, they're firing. Who are they firing at? I hope they're firing at my mercenaries. But I get the feeling they're firing at my cav. Alright, we want to stay away from the Umbar Guard. Alright, let's hit them. They're throwing. Here come the Umbar Guard. Let's see if we can hit him in the back. I don't think we will. They'll probably turn in time. Yeah. Cancel that. We're getting them. I mean, they're down to 16. Oh, I just heard the head for the hills order. Alright, now we need to throw into them. Alright, let's get the Corsairs here, and... Not a good situation. We're not going to do that much damage on this charge. The general's down. 55, 54, 3, 2. Wavering. Let's see. Can we get him? Oh, our poor lancers. Come on, come on, come on. Winning easily. Hit him in the back. It's not a nice charge. Pull out the lancers. I want to save some of them to retrain. Pull out the bodyguard. This can be very dangerous. I mean, this unit has really good morale, of course. Alright, I need to use this infantry. I promised I was going to use them. Alright, this should be it, yes. Alright, we'll just follow that up. Okay. So, those units taken care of is a clear victory, but that was pretty bad. We lost a lot more men than I would have liked. Alright, so now we've got an option. Wow, we get a lot of these men back. What's here? More swords, more swords. And we could be hit by this big army. So this is getting a little dangerous. A little dangerous. We can get mercenaries. I mean, we're losing money. But mercenary swording skirmishers would do a lot of good against these armies, especially if we get hit again. Let's go. Let's see. I think if we recruit them down here, we still have all of the movement points we would have had. And do we want to play a little coy and stay out of reach of these guys? Or do we want them to hit us? Our supply should be totally fine. Yeah, we're still well supplied. I'd have to go way back here, though. I'll risk it. Let's go up here onto our home territory. I don't think I'm going to bother with any more spears. And see if these two armies want to hit us, and maybe some stuff from the city. I think we could do against all of that, but it would probably be a little rough. Okay, everything else looking fine. So we just need to wait for some building to get done, and then for these guys to come back. Yeah, here's another Adunabar interaction. Okay, suitable husband. I may skip this guy. We're getting dangerously low in funds. He's a competent governor, but yeah, he just has the bad traits of being a plainsman. 5% increase to construction costs. He's youthful. He's got very nice traits down here. Energetic, intelligent, charismatic. But I don't think we need him at this moment. Okay, interesting. It's like they're... That's a kind of a good move. I don't know. Like, we're going to be fighting a bridge battle, I guess. Because now I have to go all the way back there. And where's the big army? It's outside the city. Okay, let's just check our other news. We got those skirmishers built, and we're going to be down almost to nothing next turn. Farharad's still doing nothing down here. And diplomatically... okay, Harad just has enemies, and Khand owns Farharad. So that's what happened. They got their off button hit when Khand protectorated them. So that's kind of nice for me. I think what happens when a faction becomes a protectorate of another faction is that their aggressiveness gets shut off. And I've definitely observed this when I become the overlord of another faction. That faction that I essentially own pretty much stops acting. Like, they stop expanding. They just become this passive little faction that doesn't do anything. And in fact, the other surrounding factions tend to ignore it, it seems. So they're really useful in that sense for a buffer, because they're not going to just go crazy expanding and then get really powerful and then turn on you. They're going to just kind of play it pretty close to the vest. So if that works for other factions, then that could be great, as long as Khand doesn't wreck it, which they may. Because what they would do, let's see, I think they own, yes, they took the Khandian Southlands from Farharad. But I think to win the game, Khand has to take this, which is Farharad's capital. And Farharad still owns that. So I think they're going to come to blows again, and then I will have to worry about Farharad. Okay, let's do this battle because we have to. We can't avoid this. And it'll be interesting. You know what? Let's actually be somewhat clever here. Although, no, I don't want to be. So here's the issue. If I bring reinforcements down, they're going to be controlled by the AI. And this is a bridge crossing, right? This would be an ideal situation for reinforcements. Well, here's what we can do. I can get one unit of skirmishers as a reinforcing army. And so they'll show up. Because it's only one unit, I'll be able to control them. And you know, they'll be available immediately, right? I think that's how it works. It's been a little while, so we'll fight this one. We can use that mounted skirmisher to, I guess, distract them a little bit. Okay, so we've definitely got one crossing, and I think that's it. Yeah, nothing else. So this is the only path across the river. We, however, have a ton of archers here. So this is going to make life pretty nice for us. We've got these mercenaries too. Yeah, I think I will lead with them. And we can just basically make that our main force. General can come up behind. Our cav is pretty inconsequential here, but it's there. Okay. And yeah, there they are. Oh, they're going to move forward a little bit themselves. And there's no archers in the AI force, so I'll just keep these guys back there for now. We've got Scarlet Shields. This would be a great little army to take care of. Okay, they're not actually moving up. So we'll get our archers and move them forward. Yeah, and we're going to be in range as soon as we stop here with all of our bowmen. Oh, that's great. So there goes their ranged, and now they're going to move up and let us hit their infantry line. Let's focus on the Swords of Harad. It's a pretty vulnerable unit. And wow, we can hit them with almost all of our archers. See, these archers, they don't get enough appreciation, I think. These archers of Harad. Available to Harondor and to the Haradrian faction. I don't think they're available to Far Harad, though. But a really nice unit. They've got some armor, you know. They've got a bit of melee capability. They can do fire arrows, which is very rare in the mod, actually. It's not like vanilla, where every faction with a bow can put a little torch on the end of it. I think only the Dunedain and Harad, these archers in particular, will get that option. So it's very, very nice. Let's speed up the archer duel here. We're going to hit... Our swordings are tall, so they're going to get some arrows in the back of the head, unfortunately. I guess I should move them forward, right? Oh my gosh, this is kind of a slaughter. Alright, let's come back. I hate seeing them get killed like that. I need you for elephant duty, theoretically. Alright, that's it for our arrows, though. Okay, so now we've got the awkward situation of pushing right across. But, you know, we've got all these spears. Let's send the spearmen right up here. Let's actually group them and send them to attack the footmen of Harad. What are you doing? Oh, they don't like that. They don't like that order. Will you do it? No, they won't. Oh, they're moving now. Okay. And let's move our swords unit. Okay, here comes the cav. So here's where we want to be kind of ready with the skirmishers. In fact, let's move them forward now. And I feel the same way about these guys as I do about my cavalry, my melee cav, and that is I want to protect them. So you're going to see me throwing forward these, you know, tier 1 units when I probably should have sent the swords at the footmen, but I know I'm going to be running into cav issues. Alright, as soon as our cav is committed, though, I'm going to run my mounted skirmishers down. Okay, this should go just fine. And what are you doing? They're repositioning. Alright, let's hold off with the mercs because... Okay, they're pulling out. And they're bringing the general forward? No. There's very little they can do against what I'm sending at them. Alright, 49 Scarlet Shields. This should be good. We'll at least be able to hold out. And this is going to be very bloody. But we're already doing some good work against them. Alright, I'm going to hold back. I think there's a thing where if you have too many men in one zone, in one little area, then they get combat penalties. Maybe that's not the case, but I very often don't like to see big blobs of my units all together. I think it reduces their effectiveness. Alright, but I think I'll throw in these guys now because they're going to actually be able to get some of these swords, or some of these cav. Yeah, very, very, very nice. Oh, this is so good. I think this was a good move, actually, to send in the spears. They're a really good unit. That's the other thing. This is a better unit than I give them credit for. You know, it's easy to look at it and say, oh, it's a tier 1, you know, at the most fundamental barracks level. And especially compared to these, you know, awesome Harondor armsmen, you think these footmen are no big deal. But they are a huge advantage, especially just compared to what Harad can do with the same tier, which is just these guys. So we're going to cut down all these Scarlet Shields, and we're, you know, okay, we're down to just 23 men here, but we're not routing, and we've done a lot of damage. And I'm being a little careful with my skirmishers because I know they can get caught, they can get in trouble by either of these two units, and they're really intended as reinforcements for the Cav army near Umbar. Okay, we're losing one unit here. It might be time maybe to bring in the javelins. Well, they're down to 19 men and they're utterly tired, so that's worth it, I think. All right, Hairdwaith Riders, they're switching it up. All right, so let's hold back again with the skirmishers, and let's bring in these 86. Yeah, these guys are going to rout pretty soon too. But yeah, look at the difficulty we're having just getting through here. All right, I'll send in the all of them. All of the spears can go and fight. It's just going to make things a little bit quicker, I think. And then we'll just push on through. Yeah, because we're losing this other unit. Well, I think this is what we needed to do because our armsmen would have taken a lot of damage from that cav, right? So they will be fighting very soon, but it's going to be at a much better situation. You know, this cav is going to be tired and way diminished. Oh yeah. And these guys are just ready to throw. So as soon as we get a likely target, they're going to start shooting at it. But I think we're going to cut down... Oh, here goes some javelins. And I don't really think they did a whole lot. We got some incidental footmen, which is fine. Okay. Let's just send them, take them out of group here, and we'll send them like to a position somewhere back there. So I'll get my most numerous footmen, send them to attack these footmen, and maybe now we can start marching because these cav units I think we can stay away from. This guy does have bows, so that is going to be a bit of an issue. But yeah, if we really needed to, I mean, we could send these guys with swords, or their little short swords or long daggers. Oh, what's this? I must have not grabbed you from before. Alright, let's speed up the action a bit. Okay, we're going to get the attention of some of their cavalry. Harondor riders coming on. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. We're throwing. But we're right at the edge of the map. You know, if we get caught by these guys, we can melee with them, and that should be just fine. So let's actually do that. Shaken. Oh yeah, we took 2 losses. Not a big deal. Get back on skirmish here. This is just going to be, you know, kind of long work. All right, they're marching up. We're going to start pushing through. I mean, it says that they're winning, but our swords have barely engaged. So they're coming in, pushing right against the backs of the Harondor footmen. And we do have our own cav for when, you know, if we really need to deal with some of these heavier units. Okay, there's the bodyguard. Looks like he's committing. 20 men losing heavily. And Scarlet Shields. Okay, Scarlet Shields are getting in on it. So now is the time to charge across and engage there. I'm going to let these footmen get away. And in fact, take them off fire at will. Yeah. Let's take out the Scarlet Shields. And we got the bodyguard already, so that should be that. Well, we've successfully defended our own ford, and yes, the enemy army routs. So Arbazan of Lon Nuelineth and his army are no more. They have built a wall around Adabara, which I'm actually glad to see, because this means that I don't have to build a wall, right? In a little while, assuming all goes well, if I take Adabara, there's a wall here. So that just makes life a lot easier. It's basically empty. There may not even be a family member down here anymore. But let's move around, see if they sneakily got anything over in my direction. It doesn't look like it. So we'll just keep that scout right around there, just to make sure nothing else is going to go on. And, I mean, we may be losing a little less money now as a result of losing some of our army. Let's see. This is no longer the totally formidable army that it once was. We have lost some of our footmen. And I'm thinking, you know, it might be worth sending them back to get refitted. But, again, it's probably better just to keep up the pressure. So we'll bring them down. They're still a really, really useful army. Here's the reinforcements from the cav. And we want to make sure that he does not accidentally get the lordship of this settlement. We were not attacked over here. Ooh. Could we pull this one off? I don't know. This one feels like it may be beyond our reach. Lieutenant Farran. There's no cav apart from the general, but my own army is looking pretty beaten up. And yeah, see, this is a little annoying. We had 3 units of lancers. Now we only got 2. The game will kind of auto merge them sometimes after a battle. I'm not sure if there's any way to avoid that. I guess an option in the settings. This would be a much nicer target. I think we're going to leave Athendad. Athendad has a sort of a reasonably sized force. So let's provoke them to come out. Because again, what I want to do is I want to get a quick and relatively easy battle that's going to give me a city. So I'm going to position myself, let's position myself on their land. Like right here. And that should put us within reach of most of these cities. In fact, let's go a little bit farther. Let's go to Umbar. This is the territory of Umbar City. This is going to make them a little alarmed, and hopefully they'll send some stuff after me that I can defend and set up to hit back really hard against. Okay, we also have this army, which I think I want to take everybody out. Yeah, the public order is so good here. The only concern, of course, is that it gets bribed away. If it does, though, I think that's fine. Because I think they only... I don't think they get, like, anything in the city. If you bribe a city, it's empty, I think. So as long as I've got troops nearby to take it back, we should be good. Okay. I think that's all we need to do here, apart from hope that we take a city pretty soon. But, yes, farms next turn, and all of this stuff, the fiefdom dominions, are going to be done next turn. All right, we do get an attack. 354 men, 3 units of swords and footmen. I like to see that. And yeah, they're getting some men ready outside of Umbar. They've still got troops outside of Athendad. And Habad, they're getting out. Getting ready to form up and go on campaign. So let's do this. All right. So we've got, what is it, 3 swords and 1 footman unit. They're going to be right down there, as is customary for the AI when they are attacking. They'll pretty much always be near the point where they can deploy. I guess we'll just do like a big line with these guys, and all of you, yeah, we'll get you up here and just ready to get around them. Oh, I forgot I had infantry again. Well, that's fine. I don't think they're going to play any role here. I mean, we're not attacking, so all we got to do is get our guys on this hill, wait for them to come to us, and get our skirmishers. I mean, since we are attacking, I guess we want to get our skirmishers down so they can get maximum time to throw javelins. And we'll be hitting the right side with no shield, so that's going to be nice. Now, if they stop, we need to move away. We're starting to throw. They're stopping. Yeah, we got some losses. Yep. They've got a hell of an arm, these Swords of Harad. We took out 10 of them, though, so... Let's get around here. We can harass the bodyguard or the captain of this army. And either get some javelin throws in or have him turn and pursue us. Either way would be kind of nice. All right, I'm going to send, I think, the general down here, the other general at these footmen. All right, he's going to be turning and throwing at our guys, and so I think we want to move the other lancers down here. All right, they should be going away. There we go. Alright, we're going to need help for this. Oof. Alright, doing good, though. There we go. Nice. Alright, I think that was pretty good. I don't think we took too many losses there. I mean, any loss... I just hate seeing this red color on any of my guys. But I think that was pretty acceptable. There goes the captain, so the army's gone, and we should get it. Alright, they're not ready to do another attack. I think they got the movement points, but for some reason they decided not to. Okay. Alright, another suitable husband. And we've got money again. Check this out. This is more than we had last turn. So I think we're in a pretty good position here. Now, does that mean we want to take this guy? He's an adept governor. He is a city dweller, which could be useful. He gets the good stuff and the bad stuff. The thing I'm most interested in right now is the income tax collection. 5% is nice. Youthful, he's energetic and intelligent. He's uncharismatic, but that's fine. We could put him in one of the homeland provinces, like one of these coastal places. He's a wary fighter. That's interesting. +1 hit points, but that's fine. He's supportive. They all are, by the way. So don't be misled by this. Supportive is just like the default. This is what always appears on the sort of like the pre-accept screen for like an adoptee or a husband, something like that. When he actually joins the campaign, this is going to change. It's going to take into effect whatever. So he's a careless speaker, somewhat learned. Okay, let's do it. Oh gosh, we got a coming of age. See, this we always seem to get like marriage offers at the same time as we get a coming of age. Okay, looks like they're all up here at Harman. All right, now how's our income looking? Because I feel like that's taking a big chunk. But this is great, actually. 1761. And now we've got just enough money to start this in Akis Anaban. That would be basically all of our current treasury. but it might be worth it. Okay, let's take a look at these guys, because this inspired governor we've got here, and I love this title, Watcher of the Crossings. The bearer of this title is Watcher of the Crossings of the Poros and Harondor Rivers, the 2 routes of entry by land into Harondor, plus 1 authority. Again, this has, let's see, what does this do? For other family, so he's not a faction leader, so for other family members, authority indicates likely that they will inherit the leadership of their faction upon the current leader's death. So this has something to do with inheritance. Also, since he's a governor, this is going to increase provincial happiness. It also has an effect on bodyguard size, I believe. So yes, so that gives him a little bit of authority, which is nice. Security versus enemy agents and command when defending. This is great, actually. So this is a good little title to give to somebody who may end up defending. Now, the 2 guys we just got, I think, are you and you. Is this right? No, neither of these guys. This is the guy who just came of age, and he's terrible. So what we will do is send him off into the south. And he's going to, let's see, maybe we can have him babysit these skirmishers, but I kind of think I don't want to wait. Let's risk the potential for bribery by a Haradrian emissary, and we'll send them ahead of him. My big army here, now that we're no longer really concerned about a loose Haradrian army in the territory, we'll send him down here generally towards Athendad, but also Umbar. And here we've got, yeah, we've got just more backup cav. This is great. Okay, so we could meet these guys up and probably hit Lieutenant Ferran with all of these forces. We can't quite reach Umbar. Or we can reach Umbar, we can't reach the army right outside Umbar. That's a shame. I wonder if that's because of this army, though. Like, if we attacked it and beat it, I think we would get to control both of these forces. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's slots for 4. Let's try it. This, okay, we just knocked them away. They don't want to fight. Okay, that doesn't really help us in terms of that. Oh, we do have another Haradrian army right here. All right, that's pretty substantial, in fact. So let's combine these guys. There's no actually mercenaries available. That's weird. Okay. And do we want to combine any? I don't think so. We'll keep it just like this. And then we've got reinforcements coming. We've got reinforcements coming. And yeah, let's do the fiefdom. Because if we end up getting a city, we're going to be getting a bunch of loot anyway, right? So that was going to be fine. So I think with that, we're at a good stopping point for the episode here. We've got in the east, we've got Harad just holding on, it looks like. They're very, very hesitant to move out of the immediate sphere of Karas Agar. This is definitely their stronghold in the region, and they've got just a little bit of an outpost in Parchera, but they're not doing anything with it, which is fine, because that lets me just hang out in Karenbad and build and gradually work up income again. Similarly, Far Harad is holding steady, still under the protection of Khand. We'll see what they're going to do. They may want to move on this land. It looks like they're getting ready. But Harad is maintaining large enough forces to keep them at bay. So this is all very good. Adabara, Athendad, Habad, Karasnan, even Umbar look fairly weak, apart from a couple of field armies. There is another city at the tip of the cape here, which could be producing forces for Harad. So they're not done yet by any means. Let's see. If we're right here, yeah, we may induce them to attack. Let's make sure that they can hit us with both armies, though. I kind of want a big clash, and maybe that'll be what starts off the next episode. Right there on top of this hill, I think, and we're going to invite the armies to hit us. We've got 3 bodyguards, we've got some skirmishers, we've got, a bunch of cav and a couple of infantry. And so if they accept the challenge here, that may be what we're facing in the next episode. So I hope you'll join me for that one, folks. Until then, take care.